Okay, let's be honest. Choosing a new car can be a real headache. And in the world of mid-sized sedans, one name just always seems to be at the top of the list, the Toyota Camry. Well, for 2026, it's gotten a complete redesign. So in this explainer, we're going to break down exactly what the experts are saying about it.
So, here's the big question we're really trying to answer today. With this new all-hybrid lineup and a fresh look, is the 2026 Camry the perfect everyday car for you? We're going to get into the good, the bad, what it costs, and who this car is really made for.
But before we get into all the nitty-gritty details, let's just start at the very top. What's the overall takeaway from the professional reviewers? What's the final verdict?
And there it is. The consensus is that this is a very strong buy, but, and this is important, it's for practical buyers. That one little phrase right there really tells you almost everything you need to know. This car is built to be sensible, reliable, and competent, not necessarily a thrill ride. Okay, so let's dig into that idea of practicality. What are the actual concrete reasons you'd put the new Camry at the very top of your shopping list? Let's go through the highlights.
So here are the big wins. First off, every single 2026 Camry is a hybrid. That means amazing fuel economy isn't an expensive option, it's just standard. Then there's available all-wheel drive, which is a huge plus if you live anywhere with real winters. And of course, you get top-tier safety ratings and a whole suite of safety tech right out of the box. It's just a really solid package of things you'll actually appreciate every day.
Now, the headline number for that all-hybrid lineup is this: 51 miles per gallon. That is fantastic. It makes the Camry one of the most efficient mid-sized cars you can get that you don't have to plug in. If you're trying to save money on gas, that number right there is a massive deal.
And it's not just about sipping fuel. The hybrid system actually puts out up to 232 horsepower, which is, frankly, plenty of power for daily driving. The fact that you can get that kind of efficiency with the security of all-wheel drive, that's a combo that used to be pretty rare, but Toyota has made it a core selling point of the new Camry.
Okay, but no car is perfect, right? To give you the full story, we have to look at the other side of the coin. What are some of the potential downsides? The things that might make you think twice before you sign on the dotted line. So, the Camry's weaknesses are really more about its personality than its ability. Look, this is not a sports sedan. Reviewers say the steering is a little vague, and the engine can get kind of loud and buzzy when you really step on it. And while the standard hybrid is great for most people, it does mean there's no cheaper, gas-only version if that's what you were looking for. Now, what about trunk space? At 15.1 cubic feet, the Camry's trunk is definitely usable, no question. But it's worth pointing out that some of its biggest competitors, like the Honda Accord and Hyundai Sonata, do offer a bit more room back there. So if you're constantly hauling a ton of gear, that's just something to keep in mind.
This quote from the folks at Edmunds really hits on that engine noise issue. They say it can get gritty and unpleasant when you floor it. So while the car is nice and quiet just cruising around, that all changes when you ask for full power, like when you're merging onto the freeway. It gets the job done for sure, but it doesn't sound particularly happy about it.
All right, let's talk about the bottom line, because it always comes down to money, right? The car sounds great on paper, but what's it actually going to set you back? Let's break down the starting prices for the main models. The lineup starts with the base LE trim at just over 29 grand. From there, you can move up to the sportier-looking SE and Nightshade, or you can go for more luxury with the XLE and the top-of-the-line XSE. It's a pretty good spread, honestly, giving you options from a really well-equipped commuter
all the way up to something that feels pretty close to a luxury car.
So, we've gone over what the experts think, the strengths, the weaknesses, and the price. Now, let's bring it all home and try to answer that first question we asked. Is the 2026 Toyota Camry the right car for you?
Think of this as a quick checklist. If you're sitting there nodding your head to these points, well, then the Camry is probably a perfect match for what you value in a car. It's really for the person who sees their car as a smart, safe, and efficient tool to get through life, not as a weekend toy. When you boil it all down, the decision really comes down to this choice right here. The Camry is an absolute champion of practicality. We're talking amazing efficiency, top-notch safety, and legendary reliability. Where it's not as strong is on the other side. It doesn't prioritize things like sharp handling or a super refined, powerful-sounding engine.
So the final question is all yours. Looking at those two sides, which one matters more to you in your daily life? If you can answer that, you'll know for sure if the incredibly well-rounded, super practical 2026 Toyota Camry is your perfect match.